Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on African Confessions. We are back with another episode. The following story that you're going to be listening to, it comes from a translation of a message that I received, and the translation of that message, it reads like this. Hello, Brother Nanshi, how are you? Can you please post my story as hidden identity? I have been living in South Africa for a very long time. I do have a son that I had with a woman. This woman, she is from Eastern Cape, but she has denied me the right. She wanted to go with me so that I can be registered and I can get a spouse visa, but later on she refused. These women, if you are a rich Nigerian, they will rush with you to the Home Affairs, but if you are poor, they don't even want people to know that they had a child with a foreign national. But this woman, just that you cannot mention her name, if she thinks that the child that we had together, it is only hers, she is lying. The day that I return back to Malawi, she is going to follow me with my child. I am not going to leave my child when I go back to Malawi, but I try by all means to provide whatever little that I can provide for him. And the painful part about it is that this woman that I had a child with, she does not even want people to know that we used to be together. Right now, I am just hustling. I am someone that sells in the streets here in Johannesburg. So whenever I have money, I call her because I make a lot of money. I can manage to give him at least 4K each and every month for him as well as for our son, because I do not want our son to suffer because he is my blood. So when she comes to collect the money, she comes and she makes sure that no one follows her. She will pretend as if she wants to buy something from me, and when I hand her the money, I am not even supposed to let other people that I work with see that I am giving her money. So I always roll this 4K and I put it in an envelope after she would have bought whatever that she would have bought from my small fruit and veggie market, and then I put it in the plastic bag and she will remove the envelope and she will put it in the handbag. This woman is very beautiful. I was with him because she was a troubled woman and I assisted him to get out of the life that she was living. She used to be addicted to drugs, and I told her that I knew of a man who was my grandfather back in Malawi, and I brought some charms with me when I returned back to South Africa. The story started when I was staying in the same street where she was staying. She would always ask for 2 rand from me because she wanted to buy some cigarettes. Later on, because of her beauty, I started demanding sex from her and we started sleeping together. I was then arrested and I returned back to my country, and my grandfather then said that he wanted to give me some charms. These were the charms that they used to use back in those days when people used to work in the mines. So they would be having these charms that they were using, because back in those days when there was southern, northern Rhodesia, it was difficult to move around. So what they did is that they used to follow the railway line from Malawi down to South Africa, but they would use these charms that they would use, even if they would come across a pack of lions, those lions will not even see them, even elephants, until they would have reached the mines and they will start to work in South Africa, staying in the hostels. So my grandfather said that he was going to create the same charms that they used back in those days. He then gave me oil and he said that this snake oil that I'm going to give to you, next time when you return to South Africa, I do not want to see you here if you are poor. You will return back with money. So this oil, what you do with it is that you rub it between your buttocks when you are going to work. So when you have rubbed this snake oil between your buttocks, it means that throughout the day, even if they say that there is an operation, no one will even see you. Anyone that is involved with the police, they won't even see or notice you. They won't even know that you are there. It's like you are just the same thing with the street light. You are just there, but they won't even see you as a human being. It's like they will be blinded by the snake oil. So you rub it between your buttocks. So I have been living in South Africa for the past 14 years, and this is what I have been using. smoking. When I returned back to South Africa, I then spoke with my girlfriend about the issue of her drug addiction. I then gave her some charms that I had been given by my grandfather. I brought with me pig milk. Do you know that the milk of a pig can assist someone who is addicted to cigarettes to stop smoking cigarettes? What you do is that you take the milk from the pig and then you dip the cigarettes in there and you leave them to dry in the sun. Then after that, the person that smokes will start to smoke, but this has to be done without that person knowing that this process has been done, so you cannot do it alone. So I brought with me the milk of a pig, and then I bought some cigarettes for him, and I dried those cigarettes in the sun. And when she asked for money, I then gave him the cigarettes, and then she started smoking. You won't even pull 3 or 4 times, you'll start to vomit. So after you would have vomited, then it means that your body will start to reject the cigarettes. Next time you try again, your body will instantly reject the cigarettes because it won't want you to vomit again. So that is how you can stop smoking cigarettes. So this woman, she then started telling me that she was in love with me and she wanted to be with me, so we would sleep together, and the conditions that she had set was that I was supposed to give her money, as much money as I could afford because of her beauty. Me and her, we stayed like that, and she then told me that she had fallen pregnant. At first I thought that she was lying, but we even did a DNA, even though we did not have to do a DNA because the child came out looking exactly like me. I thought that we were moving really well, but maybe I moved too fast when I asked for a marriage so that I can be able to stay legally in South Africa. And she told me that she did not want that to happen because she did not want to be embarrassed to be dating a poor Malawian guy. And I said, okay, it's fine. So what has brought me here is that this snake oil that I use, I want to give it away. The disadvantage of using this oil between your buttocks, you are always cracked between the buttocks, and I always have a deep wound that is there. It's like I am rotting between there, so I do not want to use it anymore. If you know anyone who is like a gangster, people that are always being looked by the police, those are the people that can use this type of a charm. If there is such a person, you can tell them to inbox you, and I am willing to give them this oil, and I want to stop using it. I am ready now, even if it means that I return back to Malawi. I do not have a problem, because it is not easy to always walk around with blood that will be coming out of between your buttocks, because this snake oil, it is like acid. Yo, dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our DM brother. Let us try to talk with our brother in the comment section. Strange things indeed, they do happen in this world. Yo, can you imagine? But this is his own confession. He says that in order for him to survive, this is what he has to do. Let us try to speak with him in the comment section. Then there is another message that was sent to me by one of our dear sister. The message, it reads like this. Hello, Brother Nash, how are you? Can you please post my story as hidden identity? I have come here because I have my own confession that I want to share with you. I am a woman that comes from Ghana. I came to South Africa a very long time ago. When I came here, I then started working at this other salon that was being run by another woman that also came from Ghana. So this lady, she was someone that was cruel in all of her dealings. She had promised me the amount that we had agreed upon, but she would rather make sure that she and her family, they were living a very good, comfortable life, yet some of us, we were just struggling. No matter how hard I tried to convince her to increase the money that she was giving to me, because I told her that I also had a family back home that I was supposed to take care of, but she did not even want to hear about that at all. All that she cared about was how much she was making, and some of us, it was like we did not even exist in her world at all. So this woman, she was really cruel to us. As time went on, that was when I started to learn the trade of using charms. So I started to use charms on my own because I knew other people that were from Ghana, that were here in Johannesburg. They taught me a lot of things, like if you are going to be dependent on this woman, you are never going to achieve anything in your life. You need to be independent. So I tried to be independent as much as I could, and as time went on, that was when I was connected to a secret cult. So this cult that I was connected to, they told me that in order for me to make money, I was supposed to open a shop. I then opened a shop, and this shop that I opened, I was going to be selling women's beauty products. That was what they suggested for me to do. They gave me a start, and at that time they did not tell me about sacrifices. They said that the only thing that I'll be using in the business that I'll be doing is that I was going to be given a rat. So this rat, what it does is that when I open my shop, then this rat will go out and it will start to look for customers. Let's say there is a woman, maybe she might be traveling from Soweto and she's coming into the CBD, and even though she is someone that can do her hair back in Soweto, but she'll end up just thinking about having her hair done in the CBD, and I do have a salon, she'll wander around until she would have reached the place where my other salon is, and she'll end up doing her hair there and buying the hair pieces from my salon. It can be even a woman that will be walking in town, and then she can buy even a hair piece that she does not even want because of that rat. It goes out and it looks for customers, and these customers, they will buy the things that they do not even want to buy from my shop. So I thought that it was a good deal. Who won't think of it as a good deal? Just having this thing that will be looking for customers for you. I did not think much about it. As time went on, that was when I discovered that this rat, it just does not survive. It survives on blood as well. And it survived on the blood of your beloved relatives. This I was never told when I joined the cult. If they had told me the truth, there was no way that I was ever going to agree to do such a thing, to sacrifice those that I love with all of my heart. So then I was taken to this other house on the night when I was supposed to do the final ritual and the final sacrifice. There was a mirror that was brought before me, and I was told that since I had been enjoying money for almost a year, it was time for me to pay back. And I asked them, how much was I supposed to pay back? And then they told me that I was supposed to pay back a huge sum of money, which was close to 4 million rands, which I would never be able to get. And then they said, if you can't pay that much, then what is going to happen is that we are going to see whom we can sacrifice amongst your relatives. I then said, you can do as you please, because as for now, I will be lying to you if you say that I have to give you all of that money. There is no way that I'll ever be able to get so much money. So those people, that is what they did to me. They forced me to sacrifice my own mother, something that I never thought that I'll ever do in my entire life, to sacrifice my own mother. After I had sacrificed my mom, then I went to Ghana. And the most painful part about it was that when I went to Ghana, the people from our village, they celebrated my return because they thought that here she was, a woman that was strong, that had traveled to South Africa alone after I had been betrayed by my husband because he had taken my other cousin sister to be his wife, and he was claiming that I was unable to give him a son. So people thought that I was very strong, but they did not know that I was now involved into a lot of rituals, and I had returned back to Ghana with one purpose only, and the only purpose that had brought me back to Ghana was that I just wanted to take some soil from my mother's grave and to return back with that soil back to South Africa. That was all that I wanted at that time. And my relatives, they went with me to the place where they had buried my mom, because I arrived at the funeral after my mom had been buried already. At night, I went there and then I collected some soil, and then I returned back to South Africa. I've never been to Ghana ever since, because I'm even scared that maybe amongst my relatives, there are those some who even know that this is what I did. So the red that I use, what it does is that when I open my shop early in the morning, then it will start to go around and it will be looking for women that would want to get their hair done. And these women, they will be brought to my shop against their own wishes. And when they are brought to my shop, then I sell the hair pieces to them. And now it is much more easier, because I do market myself on TikTok. I do sell these hair pieces, including Facebook as well, where I saw your videos of a snake, and I just thought about telling you the things that are also happening in my life. I do not have a snake, but I have a rat that brings customers to my shop. This is how I have managed to make it big in South Africa. It is quite a rough country if you are poor, but if you have connection, there is so much money that can be made here. But sometimes I feel lonely because of the rituals that I did. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our dear sister. Let us try to speak with him in the comment section. This has reminded me about this other confession that I read on the other channel about a woman who dated this other blesser who took her back to Zimbabwe for the funeral of his mother, and she was convinced by that blesser. The night before the burial, they sneaked out of the compound without people noticing them, and then they went to the graveyard and they got themselves into the grave, and they slept with each other. And she is saying that after this was done, because she was shocked, she did not expect this to happen, she forgot her underwear, but it was taken by the blesser. And when she was brought back to Harare and she flew back to South Africa, she forgot about asking for that underwear. To this very day, she still wonders what that blesser did with her underwear. Let us try to talk also about that in the comment section. You can just imagine what people will do for the sake of money, to sleep inside a grave where someone is supposed to be buried, and then you let the blesser keep your own undergarment. Strange things they do happen in this world.